ドジャース、苦しい連敗、若手アンディ、パフェスの一発に巧妙。日本時間4月9日、米国時間8日、ナショナルズパークで行われたドジャース対ナショナルズ戦は、ドジャースが痛恨の敗戦を喫し、シリーズ全敗、スイープの危機に直面した。開幕から13試合を終え、昨季の優勝時と同じ9勝4敗だが、不安定な戦いぶりにロバーツ監督も、打線がつながっていない、と苦言を呈した。情報提供、スポーツネット LA。この試合、投手のロブレスキーは制球が乱れ、早い回から大量失点。本人も、コマンドが思い通りにいかなかった、と悔しさをあらわにした。一方、若手のアンディ、パフェスが豪快なホームランを放ち、チームに明るい材料を提供。試合後パフェスは、打ててホッとした。これをきっかけに調子を上げたい。と笑顔を見せた。ロバーツ監督も、唯一のポジティブな要素だった。と評価。チームの中心、ムーキー、ベッツは体調不良で本調子でない中、若手の台頭に期待が集まる。苦しい状況だが、シーズンはまだ序盤。昨季王者として巻き返しに期待がかかる。続いて監督、選手らのインタビュー映像を日本語字幕付きでお楽しみください。
Carl's junior moments of the game. Adrian, Andy Pages got a little mental reset day yesterday and paid off.
It sure did. And there, you know, one of the things that, even though he didn't come through in the previous at bat, staying inside the baseball and the tough sinker in, put him in a great spot for the rest of the game that he ended up getting a couple hits. And this swing right here, staying inside the baseball on this breaking pitch and staying through the ball really well. Great home run right there.
Jerry, it was your called shot of the day, which was a great call, and that means you get to break it down.
Thanks, John. I really appreciate it. You know, listen, it does hurt losing this game, but let's go Access 360 and do something positive. Okay, we want some positivity, and this is a positive at-bat for Andy Pages. Hopefully, this gets him going the rest of the year. Fastball up in the zone, ahead in the count 1-0. Looking for something he could drive here 1-0. He's going to get a sinker down and in. You know, that's a pretty nasty sinker. I love that he's aggressive, but he didn't put in play. Now he's behind the count on the breaking ball 1-2. He's going to get a pitch up in the zone, fouls it back. Should have put that ball on play, but he stays within the at-bat, gets a hanging slider. This time, he does not miss it. Love the bat path. I love that he's able to put this ball, not only play hard, but still able to drive the ball out of the ballpark. Outstanding swing. We're going to look at it one more time. Head down on contact. Barrel release exit velo over 104 miles an hour. The ideal launch angle, somewhere around 27 to 28 degrees, especially in that cold weather. There it is right there, 30 degrees. The cold weather sometimes messes up my, you know, projections. Yeah. But great job there by Andy Pages, and I'm hoping that swing gets him going. You see him kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Yep. Those type of swings, hopefully have a lot more of those the rest of the way.
Yeah, a couple hits, reach base 3 times tonight. Certainly a good sign for Andy Pages. Right now, let's go back to Nationals Park. Justin Robleski is talking with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Okay. Justin, you had an excellent spring. You had an excellent start in AAA to start this year. Just when you look at this outing, is this one that you just kind of turn the page, or what do you think was maybe leading to maybe the lack of results out there today?
Yeah, obviously, anytime you have an outing like this, you got to turn the page. It's a quick game. Just got to roll with it. It's a long season. There's always opportunities to bounce back and do things like that. Just think, for whatever reason today, stuff just didn't feel great. Command wasn't where it should be. It's frustrating to have that kind of result when I've been throwing the ball good. So try to take the positives, and if there are any, and keep it moving.
Last year you did have an experience similar to this. What's the benefit of going through this before at this level, knowing that you can get past it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Obviously you don't want to have to go through it, but obviously there's some things I need to clean up. Just need to go back, look through it, talk to some coaches, talk to some people, just kind of really nail down what I need to do to get better and make the jump that I know I can make. So. Yeah, he was just on stuff early. I mean, I think both of them were on the first pitch. So, I mean, it's just, he's a great player, good hitter. Obviously, you know, he did his thing tonight.
Were you told about how long this opportunity might last with Blake on the IL?
Yeah, you kind of never, I don't know, you don't really get that kind of info. Just come up here, try to do my job. Whenever they give me the ball, I just continue to try to get better each outing and, you know, get through this one. This one's tough. It hurts. It sucks. when you're a competitor, and you don't want this to happen. But at the end of the day, it's just about doing your job when you're called upon, and today I didn't do a good job of that. So just continuing to make the most of whatever opportunities I'm given the rest of the year, and we keep going.
How cold was it out there? How tough was that?
Really cold, but there's no excuse. They had to plan it too, and I had a tough one, so it's part of it.
Remember, fans, each night if Dodgers pitchers strike out at least 7 batters, everyone will get a free Jumbo Jack the following day at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink, only at LA area restaurants. Unfortunately, second straight night, the Dodgers come up short. 6 strikeouts tonight, but there's another chance coming up tomorrow when Landon Knack starts against the Nationals. And because of the lopsided score, we saw Mookie come out of the game, Teoscar Hernandez came out of the game, Tommy Edman came out of the game. Dave Roberts put Hunter Fedusha, Jerry, at first base. Fedusha had not played first base since he was playing summer ball for the Rockford Rivets.
Well,
2017.
There's not going to be any shade thrown to Rockford. Okay, there's a lot of good people there in Rockford. But yes, an opportunity for Fedusha to get in at bat, get in this ball game as well, playing a little first base. Obviously, we know he is a catcher by trade, but it also helps you a little bit knowing that you can play a variety of positions right there, able to smother it right here and knock it down. Finish the play.
Hey, he blocked it like if it was a slider in the dirt right there, Pick it up and toss it to the pitcher. That's what he does. No, he did a good job. I've seen him practice a lot of first base and pregame and take his ground ball, so he has gotten some work. So, a little bit of experience in practice. I know he has done. So,
have you ever gone from first base to catcher?
As a left-hander, I've never done
No, left-handers are prohibited to catch behind the
Why
plate.
is that a thing? Why can't there ever be a left-handed catcher?
It's against the law.
Let's go back to Washington, D.C. Andy Pajes is talking with Kirsten in the media, and we also have a cameo from Donald Duck.
Andy, yesterday Dave said he wanted to give you a day just to mentally, physically reset. How valuable was that? And then going out there and getting the results tonight.
Dave dijo ayer que te quería dar el día para que podías cambiar tu actitud, para poder cambiar lo que estabas haciendo y de enfocarte más en el juego en vez de enfocarte en todo tu personal. ¿Cómo te hizo ese día?
En verdad es un poco o sea, agradezco eso porque como que ayer en ese juego pude como dejar de pensar un poco en lo que tenía que hacer. Simplemente disfruté del juego y hoy fue un nuevo día y me sentí mejor.
Yeah, I was very grateful. Yesterday I got a chance to just enjoy the game, and then today just being able to kind of feel a little bit better and just be able to get some results was great.
Did you feel a sense of relief after that home run? Because visually it just seemed like a weight was lifted off your shoulders.
Después del home run te sentiste que relajado, más confianza, como que se vio cuando estabas corriendo sobre las bases, que te relajaste un poquito después del home run.
Sí, obviamente el primer jonrón siempre de la temporada es un poco como te quita ese peso de encima, pero definitivamente sí me hizo sentir mejor y con mucha más confianza.
Yeah, the home run definitely took that it was definitely like a sense of relief. It gave you a lot more confidence. It was just like a big major deep breath of fresh air for sure.
Well, it was a cold night for the Dodgers bats today. They are 9-4 on the season. Same record after 13 games as last year. They went on to win the World Series, just to remind you guys, so stay calm. All right, so we were talking about this during the highlight. I know you wanted to continue the conversation. Adrian, Austin Barnes at the plate pops one up. What should Andy Pajes have done here in your mind?
I mean, when you look at this, Andy Pajes should have been standing on first base. He should not have come off the base because that allows for the double play to happen. In my opinion, the umpires ruled it intentional because if you're an infielder or a position player and you drop a ball like that, your instinct should be to go to the lead base and get the force out to second base. And by him thinking, let me go to first base, that makes you think it's intentional because now he's got an opportunity to double off going to get the force out at first and then get the run down at second base. So his action after he dropped it, I don't think he dropped it intentionally, but his actions after he dropped it made it seem like it was an intentional play.
I agree with Gonzo. You really like looking at it. Probably the best thing to do is, if you're Pajes, just to stay at first base. I always thought that play should be at infield fly. I know the rule, first and second, if that happens right there, it's called infield fly. The batter's out. They should have that for the runner on first because he's in no man's land. I'm being corrected right now by
your dad,
Jerry Hairston Sr., who's watching right there, always watching. But he said Mike Squires, left-handed first baseman, also caught a few games in 1983 for the Chicago White Sox. So thanks, Dad. Thanks for correcting me.
That's right. See, and good on you for sharing that information because I've always thought it was a little odd that you can't have a left-handed catcher.
Well, they're different, John. The lefties, you know, they're crazy.
Let's go back to D.C. Dave Roberts with Kirsten and the media.
Dave, when you look at a game like this, is this one in which you just kind of have to turn the page?
Yeah, I think that's a good start. Obviously, you know, we got behind early, and you know, I still felt good about it. I thought, you know, I expected, you know, Justin to kind of reset, and you know, in that third inning, second or third inning, we had 2 outs, 2 outs on 2 strikes on Cruz, 0-2, and then, you know, we leave a slider up, and then we get the 3 walks in a row, and Caber gets the 2-out hit and just kind of blew it open. And, you know, I think to his credit, though, Justin, he got through 5 and allowed us to use 2 pitchers to find a way to salvage the series. Offensively, certainly you don't feel good about striking out 15 times in a game, and just kind of up and down the lineup, just the at-bat quality. We're just not having team at-bats. I think sporadically, I thought, you know, Pages took some good at-bats today, but I think just kind of in totality, just the at-bats collectively haven't been team at-bats, and, you know, the results are showing.
With Justin, he obviously had a fantastic spring, and even his first outing in AAA was a really solid one. What do you think, just with his outing today, wasn't translating for him?
I don't know. I don't think he got in a rhythm tonight. The fastball command wasn't there. I think the slider, the breaking ball, just wasn't consistent as far as the sharpness, the teeth to the pitches. When he did get count leverage, you couldn't put him away. And obviously made a couple bad pitches to Wood there.
There's a couple guys who are off to slow starts offensively. You think that maybe it's part of maybe guys pressing, trying to get some out of a slower start to the season is probably why some non-team at-bats and stuff like that tonight?
You know, that might be the case, but, you know, with a veteran-laden team, that shouldn't be a cause for panic. Appreciating the fact that there's a lot of season left, and just continue to take good at-bats. And, you know, the first pitch, soft contact outs, expanding of the strike zone, that's just not, you know, what good hitters do. And so I just think that, you know, each night there's a performance or two that's really good, but collectively we just haven't been synced up, and that's why I think the offense has been pretty sporadic.
I know you don't want to use weather as an excuse, but there's got to be a correlation between 45 degrees of rain on this trip and losing 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah, I have a hard time kind of conceding that one. The cold front came in, the weather came in the Northeast for both clubs. And so the weather's been fine up until when we got out here on this East Coast swing. So they had to deal with the same conditions. And I don't think the weather was a result of, you know, punching 15 times and they didn't. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I was cold, certainly, but you know, the weather doesn't play any favorites.
All right, Dodgers now look to avoid the sweep tomorrow afternoon in our nation's capital. We'll have a preview of the final game of the road trip next.
ロサンゼルス、ドジャース、まさかの大敗、痛烈な寒波が襲う敵地で、チームは悔しさに打ち震えた。華麗に駆け抜けてきた青い旋風が、ワシントンで思わぬ壁に阻まれたのである。鮮烈な輝きを放つ日本の誇り、大谷翔平を擁しながらも、ドジャース打線はナショナルズ投手陣の前にことごとく沈黙。気温の低下が容赦なく襲いかかる中、バットの響きは無情にも霞んでしまった。打者たちは次々と三振を喫し、その数はなんと15個にも及んだ。試合後、指揮官でロバーツは淡々と語った。寒さを言い訳にするわけにはいかない。ナショナルズも同じ条件だ。と気丈に前を向いた。しかしながら、この日のドジャースのバットからは覇気や勢いが感じられなかったことは否めない。 期待を背負って先発マウンドに上がった若き投手ジャスティン・ロブレスキーも序盤から制球に苦しみ、5回を投げ切るのが精一杯という内容だった。調子は良かったはずなのに、今日はなぜか思うようにいかなかったと悔しさをにじませた若武者。その瞳には次への闘志が燃えている。一方、この試合で光を放った選手もいた。それが打席で輝きを取り戻しつつある期待の若手アンディ・ペイジズだ。前日にロバーツ監督があえて与えた精神面のリセット休養が功を奏したのだろう。ペイジズは鋭いスイングで豪快な本塁打を放ち、停滞するチームにわずかながら希望の光を差し込ませたのだ。解説陣も興奮気味にその一撃を絶賛した。理想的な打球角度30度、寒波をも切り裂く見事なアーチと、まるで伝説の名選手がよみがえったかのような熱いトーンで称えた。守備面では捕手として定評のあるハンター・フェドゥーシャが一塁手として急遽出場する珍しい場面もあった。守備練習で培った技術を生かし、必死にグラウンドボールを処理するフェドゥーシャ。その懸命な姿はファンに確かな勇気を与えたはずだ。しかしこの日のドジャースには勝利の女神は微笑まず、ナショナルズに完敗を喫した。だが我々ファンは知っている。このチームには幾度となく試練を乗り越え、大逆転の物語を紡いできた底力があることを。そして何よりこのチームには世界最高の野球選手大谷翔平がいる。大谷は常に仲間を鼓舞し、敗北の中でも希望を見出す力を持つ男だ。今後の試合で彼がどのような奇跡を起こしてくれるのか、我々の胸は期待でいっぱいである。まだシーズンは始まったばかりだ。選手たちが団結し、再び快進撃を見せてくれることを信じて疑わない。ドジャースの明日を信じ、共に応援し続けよう。皆さんの熱い応援、コメントといいねをぜひお願いいたします。